Ever since the first time I saw a little blip blip on a screen, I wanted to be the guy that put those blip blips on the screen. So I went to college for game design, but instead of textbooks and lectures, I got YouTube tutorials. I didn't want to spend thousands of dollars learning the basic rules of coding. I wanted to learn how to make games that could touch people's hearts. So after dropping out and spending the last 10 years of my life trying to find out the basic rules of game design, here are the 5 rules that every game developer should know that a game degree won't teach you.
Addy.
If a game sits in the woods with no one around to play it, does the developer get to keep his job? This Confucius wisdom illustrates the age-old transaction between player and developer. I give money, game make me happy, I promise not to demand a refund on Steam. The art, programming, and design should all be catered towards making your player feel like playing your game was worth their money and their time. Sometimes you're just too big to fail. The best way to cater to your player is to get to know your player. And a good way to do this is to develop something known as a persona. Or you could just develop persona. A persona is essentially just a fictional sketch of your target audience. You can give them a name, but it'll only make it harder to put them down. This sketch can include things like their age, personality, likes, dislikes, stats, and armor class. A persona can help you to create a design strategy that is more relevant and valuable to your player base. It also helps humanize the faceless vultures that circle around your precious game. The designers of Magic the Gathering are actually pretty famous for having their 5-player archetypes that help guide them in designing new cards that cater to those specific players' interests. A persona works like a North Star, guiding you towards the things that your player needs and away from the things that you can just ignore, empowering you to guide your players straight to having fun. If your game starts with an hour-long cutscene or tutorial, you're missing the point. 90% of players who start your game aren't even going to finish it, especially if you have to skip an endless stream of dialogue to get through it. Nobody wants to do that.
I do.
World building can be important, but if you really want players to see all that work you put into the world, you want to make damn sure that it's fun doing it. A game is like a sandwich. Your story is the onions, and your gameplay is like the meatballs. And I don't want to eat an onion sandwich, do you?
I do.
It takes practice knowing how to make something fun, and the best way to learn is to do a couple of game jams. In a game jam, you have to make a complete game in only a couple of days, so you're really forced to focus on making something quick and fun, rather than on an endless stream of lore, spreadsheets, and spreadsheets. With solid gameplay as a foundation, any bit of extra story or art is just a bonus. Focusing on a fun or wacky gameplay concept can really help you to stand out. Trimming down some of that extra fat can also help you to get your game done. And to do that, you need to set realistic goals. Are you a solo developer? You're not making an MMO.
I am. Never mind. I'm gonna do it anyway.
If you're making a game, you probably want to get it done. And if you don't have a release date, it's hard to find a reason not to keep adding new features forever. That's why it's important to set due dates. To force myself to get things done within a certain amount of time, I use the free project management tool Hackin' Plan. Hackin' Plan. You can keep track of different tasks, how long they take, and how important they are, so you can prioritize what needs to get done. My productivity gets supercharged when I set 2-week-long sprints, but finishing a game doesn't matter if nobody can find it, which is why marketing is everything. Forget everything that I've said in this video. Good art, don't want it. Music, who cares? Logan Paul chugging a smoothie made entirely of your game's Steam keys. Oh, Papa John's. I might be overselling, but I'm not. Market your goddamn game. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, OnlyFans. I don't care what you've got to do. People can't find your game if there's nowhere to find it. That's a good quote. Don't worry about people stealing your ideas, your concepts. No one cares. And I know you want to save everything for the big release, but you're not Nintendo. People will copy Nintendo. People will steal from Nintendo. Look, I'm doing it right now. But here's the good news. People want to find new cool things. They want to root for the underdog. These big corporations got to get hundreds of people together to make one small marketing decision. And all you've got to do is be yourself. That's it. Just be you. I've worked for a lot of soulless, soul-crushing companies that make you feel like you're just another number. And sometimes you start to believe it too. But you are the culmination of your life's experiences, the things you love, and you can breathe that life into the things that you make. You don't need to try and copy the big guys, make the 1 millionth Zelda-like or Metroidvania. I want to make the first Addy Mania. That's not like a mental disease or whatever. It reminds me of something Shigeru Miyamoto said.
その人個人がものを作ってるんだという部分です。で一方では最近のたくさんのゲームを見てるとですね、やっぱりそのハードの能力であるとか、それからツールの特性によってその作品の個性が決まってしまう。で作者の個性がすごく薄くなってるということを僕は感じて、それは悲しいと思います。ゲームデザイナーはやっぱりその技術というのをちゃんと身につけた設計者であることとともに、そしてその上になる個性、自分の個性というもの、生まれながらの独自性と、そしてリズム、それの表現者である。そしてまたエンターテイナーとして世の中を楽しくする人であって。
The games that inspired me as a kid weren't based on games that already existed. They were based on things their creators loved. And you could feel it with every little blip. So let's make some games this year, and let me know what you're working on in the comments below. Where'd my background go? Close enough.